Blessed ones of the nations of the world, one more time, thus as your brother Dan Moses, or say Yao Sakodie of TRC, Ghana, coming to you this 17th of August 2023 with the continuation of our exposés, Testimony, New World, Disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Akwaba, Allen, Sahale, Shagetam, welcome, Nganjoni, Benvindo, you are welcome. Kuso, Diwo, Tusanyu Senyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boyeyi, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, o Sanu de Zua, Enkwang de Hena, Mitash, Duburo, Pezaluvat, Bine I Vinit, Barigalust, Vita Iche, Aibon, Dobridoya, Velkomen, Estan, Bozut, Walang Adoman, Bienvenido, Namaste, Swagetam, Kush, Hamadid, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Wang Yong Haminida, Wang Ying, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko. Wezolo novio mia wezo Akwaba to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Testimony New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet, for almost 2 decades, for the past 17 years, in their worship of the extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent Daniel Caesar, have, by willful deception, lies, and delusion, have brought humanity and the nations of the world into this total global helplessness. With these evil global forces having Ghana and America as the center of their global evil pursuit against humanity, the government of Nana Addo Akufo, the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo, Joe Biden and his administration, the Ban Ki-moon's racist of South Korea, the Barack Obamas, the Hillary Clintons, the troublers of America and Ghana and humanity, they have taken these two nations hostage, Ghana and America, and are using for their global ulterior agenda pursuit against the entire human race, which is the pursuit of the secret mark of the beast 666 against the entire human race, whether it be Muslims, Christians, Jews, Rastafarians, Shintoists, whichever, no matter which religious affiliation, our religious inclination, no matter our gender, no matter our race, no matter our creed, all of us, they are coming after our souls. That is the agenda they are pursuing, and which, with the diversionary tactics to their ulterior agenda being pursued, being the orchestrated COVID-19, by which these evil global states committed medical terrorism against the entire human race by vaccinating us, locking the world down after they have killed my family members, killed my reverend minister, killed my Jerry John Rawlings, and they were getting too exposed. They had no choice than to orchestrate COVID-19 agenda. But they called it coronavirus. It didn't stand. They switched it to COVID-19. They terrorized us all and locked us down. The ulterior agenda for which they are pursuing is the mark of the beast 666, which the Bible has cautioned humanity about. That is what they are doing. They have stakes within the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon and their cronies that for 10 years took hostage the United Nations, and with stakes within America, Barack Obama's and Joe Biden's, in worship of this undercover agent, pursued that agenda secretly and are still pursuing it. That is what is happening to the nations of the world, and they are keeping it as a secret from us. And now they have orchestrated the Russia-Ukraine situation as a diversionary tactics. When they want to box it up, add the China-Taiwan situation to it, in playing as diverting our attention from their evil pursuit. But we are not moved in a sense that by the grace of God, we as well through the same program get to receive some divine guide, divine direction, divine insight, that we may know exactly what to do in these times of global man-made Jacob's trouble, the global evil, the unthinkable terrorism that the Bible has cautioned in Jeremiah 30 verse 7, that it shall be unleashed on the human race in such a time as this, at the end time of the history of mankind. That is what is unfolding before our eyes. But we are not moved, because by the grace of God we as well get to receive some divine guide, divine direction, divine insight, that we may know what to do in the face of this global evil by those we trust to be there for the human race, and yet has let us down due to their wickedness and their evil pursuit, their worship of Madam Revelation 17, Babylon the Great, America and the nations of the Africa. This expose is coming to us on the 17th of August 2023. Because of this, because of Babylon the Great and the worshippers of Babylon the Great, we are coming out with this expose, being the very first expose that we have come out with after our introductory exposes when we arrived in Ghana. So this expose is going to be expose part 258, 259 is going to be what to do. Akufo to the program, testimony, the world disorder, humanity and the nations of the world. We would want to call on NATO to bring some prudence to ECOWAS on our behalf, on the behalf of Africa and West Africa, by calling on the heart of ECOWAS that, hey, ECOWAS, calm down. NATO as an organization has never invaded, intervened, occupied any NATO state since the organization was established, because NATO is not ignorant about the global evil stakes that go after the nations of the world and NATO state as well. Therefore, NATO is NATO consists of a defensive organization which defends NATO states. Therefore, ECOWAS, you must be a defensive organization against invading forces that would like to plague and terrorize West Africa and plunder the resources of West Africa. Therefore, know and understand that your quest to intervene, to occupy, to invade Niger is a no, that you must sit up and start reconsidering your invasion of Niger, because NATO is for NATO nations and West Africa is for West Africans. Niger is for the people of Niger and not for the global wicked forces that tear down states. Therefore, ECOWAS must be for the defense of Niger and not for the invasion or intervention of Niger as the global evil forces seek and desire the Akufo Addo and his terror networks of Ghana, the Ban Ki-moon's end, treacherous, diabolical, diplomatic evil stakes. Akufo to the program, testimony, new world. Yes, U.S. military. Speak some words of encouragement, words of awakening to ECOWAS. The ECOWAS never has the U.S. military invaded California, invaded Florida, invaded state of Maryland, state sponsoring terrorist states. Never has the U.S. military invaded any state of America. You understand? And therefore, it is totally unacceptable for ECOWAS to invade, to intervene, to occupy Niger. Akufo to the program, testimony, new world disorder. After all, it is the people of any state to decide their fate as to who should rule over them and which path their nation should go. We know, we are not ignorant, that for the worship of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent, the American people cannot recall the last time that their votes counted, that their mandate of choosing their own president was became valid. It counted at their polls. Because it is stakes within the United Nations, stakes in Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is terror, stakes in America, Washington DC, who have been imposing their whims and their norms, their total nonsense, which they call democracy, in destruction, in the willful destruction of the U.S. democracy, the democracy of Ghana. That is what they have been doing in secrecy, by imposing puppets on the nations of the world. So if Niger is saying that this is how we want to govern, we want to choose who should lead us, that should be in the none of the business of the treacherous forces within the United Nations or anywhere. Akwa to the program Testimony New World Disorder. America and the nations of the world. Why this? Because Niger is for the noble people of Niger. That must be understood by the terror government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because we are not ignorant of their treachery in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent. America and the nations of the world, United Kingdom, all of Europe, Africa. We know that in 2020, November the 12th, after Ban Ki-moon and their cronies, the Hillary Clintons, Barack Obamas, Joe Bidens, have by their terrorism with Akufo-Addo's government, have cowardly killed Jerry John Rawlings in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent on the 12th of November 2020. I had to fly down from US to Ghana for the funeral of Jerry John Rawlings. After that funeral, the home that I was residing in Dowenya, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his government took over the home, operated as a secret terror cell for terrorizing me and the destruction, willful destruction of the economy and the finances of Ghana. They had taken the caretaker of the resident, which I was a tenant of, from Ghana secretly to Mali. That was in 2021, after the funeral of Jerry John Rawlings. And the results of their secret operating of the terror cell from Mali, using Ghanaian terrorists for the Akufo-Addo network, eventually led to the toppling of Mali. They sought to tear down Mali. America and the nations of the world, Akwa to the program Testimony New World, they destabilized the stable state of Mali. These evil forces who worship the extremely dangerous US undercover agent, Niger, we are telling them something, that we are not ignorant of who we are as the people of Niger, and West Africans and Europeans and Asians and Australians, and we are not ignorant of who they are and what the treacherous forces do. Akwa to the program Testimony New World Disorder. In 2021, when Joe Biden and his administration, Kamala Harris, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ken Oforeka Dampare, have operated secret terror cell on the soil of America. When they had locked down, while they have locked down the entire human race and were medically terrorizing us under the guise of COVID-19 to cover up their terrorism of the cowardly secret killing, 17 years of cowardly secret killing of Ghanaians. What they did is they were strategically toppling West African states, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, while at the same time they made Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo treacherously cry out loud against coup d'etat and point accusing fingers at the West that the West is behind the toppling of those states. While it was stakes, Ban Ki-moon stakes within the United Nations, the Akufo Addo government and the Biden administration behind that evil, to divert our attention from the fact that they have pursued their evil to kill an innocent Jew in America, and the issue was growing in their own eyes, popping up in their eyes. They did this by toppling West African states and made Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo cry out for favor in the sight of the world to secure his presidency and his government. America, Ghana, and the nations of the world, we are not ignorant of the evils that the destroyers, nation wreckers do. That is what we tell them. Because for Niger to understand, we disclose to them that I arrived on the soil of Ghana on the 27th of July 2023. Before 1 month to my arrival in Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his administration, they were seeking me, together with states within the United Nations, the US government, were seeking means to oppress and to suppress Ghana. When I get to Ghana, they decided to put total blackout on Ghana as from the 1st of July 2023, when I was to get to Ghana. We stopped them from the US. They could not put the total blackout on Ghana as from the 1st of July 2023. 1 week for me to arrive in Ghana, they had considered that all their evil pursuits had succeeded, and their crimes against Ghana, America, and humanity, their medical terrorism, they have been able to quickly lift the declared an end to their so-called COVID-19 pandemic terrorism, which they engaged. They have quickly swept it under the carpet. They sent down the individual, their terrorists, whom they sent secretly to Mali to coordinate their terror network on the behalf of the Addo government, and running of my resident as a secret terror cell, to the killing and to the toppling of Mali. They sent him down 1 week to my arrival in Ghana. Why? Because they wanted to play the Ghanaian people that, oh, it is not so. The guy has come back after 2 years. They never brought him down until 1 week to my arrival in Ghana. They brought the guy down so that they play the Ghanaian people that, oh, it is never the case, that the guy was sent to Mali to go aid the terror operations of the Akufo-Addo government, and they tore down Mali. So in their damage control to their terrorism against Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, which they engage in to tear down Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, to divert attention from their killing of an innocent Jew, they have orchestrated a damage control by sending the terrorists of Akufo-Addo's terror network from. He was patrolling Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Eventually, they brought 1 week to my arrival. And then, the moment I arrived in Ghana, you are being told that Mali is Niger is destabilized, and there is the need for ECOWAS to go invade, to go occupy, to go intervene in Mali. Mali, the same forces which sought to wreck Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, Niger, hear me, the same forces within the United Nations, in America, Joe Biden and his Akufo-Addo and his terror network, they are the people behind what you are seeing. They want to decide for you who should rule over you. But you are the people of Niger, and you know what stakes within the United for 2 decades within the United Nations. But Akufo-Addo and his terror network have done to Ghana and have done to the US under the guise of so-called democracy. Why they impose their rulers on America and on Ghana? You would not let them take over your nation and seek to loot your resources under the guise of invading of your nation. We tell them, period.